The unexpected arrival. The sun had long since dipped below the horizon when Ethan Cruz wiped the grease from his hands and surveyed his workshop with a weary sigh. Nestled on the outskirts of New Hope, a remote settlement on the fringes of colonized space, the shop was cluttered with an eclectic array of machines in various states of repair. Anti-gravity generators, terraforming equipment, and outdated androids lined the walls, a testament to Ethan's reputation as the go-to mechanic for even the most challenging repairs. As he reached for the light switch, a brilliant flash illuminated the night sky, followed by a thunderous boom that shook the very foundation of his workshop. Heart racing, Ethan rushed outside, his eyes widening at the sight before him. A sleek, silver craft unlike anything he'd ever seen was descending from the heavens, its hull pulsing with an otherworldly blue light. The ship touched down in the clearing just beyond his workshop, kicking up a cloud of dust and debris. As the dust settled, a panel on the side of the craft slid open with a soft hiss, revealing a ramp that extended to the ground. Ethan's breath caught in his throat as three figures emerged from the ship, their movements fluid and graceful. As they stepped into the moonlight, Ethan realized they were women, or at least beings that appeared female. Their skin shimmered with an iridescent quality, shifting between hues of blue and purple. Their eyes, large and almond-shaped, seemed to glow with an inner light. They wore form-fitting suits made of a material that looked both metallic and fluid, adapting to their every movement. The tallest of the three, her head adorned with intricate silver markings, stepped forward. When she spoke, her voice carried a melodic quality that seemed to resonate in Ethan's mind rather than his ears. "Greetings, human. I am Lyra, and these are my companions, Vela and Karina. We come seeking assistance." Ethan blinked, his mind struggling to process the situation. I'm Ethan. Ethan Cruz. What kind of assistance do you need?" Lyra gestured towards their ship. "Our vessel has suffered damage during our journey. We detected your settlement and the energy signatures of advanced machinery. Are you capable of repairing complex technology?" A smile tugged at Ethan's lips. If there was one thing he prided himself on, it was his ability to fix just about anything. "That's what I do. I'm a mechanic, probably the best one in this part of the galaxy, if I do say so myself." Lyra's expression remained neutral, but Ethan sensed a flicker of hope in her glowing eyes. "Then perhaps you can help us. Our navigation system has malfunctioned, stranding us in this sector. Without repairs, we cannot continue our mission." Curiosity piqued, Ethan asked, "What kind of mission?" "We are peacekeepers," Vela interjected, her voice carrying the hint of urgency. "There is a conflict brewing in a nearby system. If we cannot reach it in time, countless lives may be lost." The weight of their words settled on Ethan's shoulders. He had always been content with his life in New Hope, fixing machines and helping the colonists. But now, standing before these otherworldly beings, he felt the pull of something greater. "I'll do my best to help," Ethan said, squaring his shoulders. "Can you show me the problem?" Lyra nodded, a look of relief passing over her features. She led Ethan towards the ship, the ramp extending further to grant him access. As he stepped inside, Ethan's eyes widened in wonder. The interior was a marvel of technology, with holographic displays floating in the air and surfaces that seemed to shift and change as if alive. "This way," Lyra guided him towards the heart of the ship. "Our navigation core is here." They entered a circular chamber dominated by a pulsating crystal structure. Arcs of energy danced across its surface, but the pattern seemed erratic, unstable. "The crystal matrix has been destabilized," Karina explained, her fingers dancing over a nearby console. "We've tried to realign it, but our efforts have been unsuccessful." Ethan approached the crystal, his enhanced perception, a gift from years of working with complex machinery, already analyzing the problem. He could sense the flow of energy, the intricate patterns that governed the ship's systems. It was alien technology, yes, but at its core, it operated on principles he understood. "I think I see the issue," Ethan murmured, his mind racing with possibilities. The energy flow is out of sync. If we can recalibrate the matrix and reestablish the harmonic resonance, it should stabilize the system. The alien women exchanged glances, a mix of surprise and admiration in their eyes. You can perceive the energy patterns? Lyra asked, her tone curious. Ethan nodded, already reaching for his toolkit. It's a knack I've developed over the years. Now, let's see what we can do to get you ladies back on your mission. As he set to work, Ethan felt a sense of exhilaration. This was more than just another repair job. It was a chance to make a difference on a cosmic scale. With the fate of an entire system hanging in the balance, he knew failure wasn't an option. Little did Ethan know that this unexpected encounter would be just the beginning of an adventure that would challenge everything he thought he knew about the universe and himself. Unraveling alien technology. Ethan's hands moved with practiced precision as he worked on the alien ship's navigation core. The pulsating crystal matrix before him was unlike anything he had ever encountered, yet there was a familiar rhythm to its energy flow, a universal language of technology that transcended the boundaries of worlds. "Hand me that resonance modulator," Ethan called out to Vela, who had been assisting him. She passed him a sleek, silvery tool that hummed softly in his grip. As he applied it to a specific point on the crystal, the erratic energy patterns began to stabilize. "Remarkable," Karina murmured, her eyes fixed on a holographic display that monitored the ship's systems. "The harmonic frequencies are aligning. How did you know where to apply the modulation?" Ethan grinned, wiping sweat from his brow. "It's all about feeling the rhythm of the machine. Every piece of technology has its own heartbeat, so to speak. Once you learn to listen, the solutions become clear." As he worked, Ethan couldn't help but marvel at the complexity of the alien vessel. Its systems were intricately interconnected, operating on principles that pushed the boundaries of his understanding. Yet with each passing moment, he found himself grasping concepts that should have been beyond him. "Your aptitude for our technology is unexpected," Lyra observed, her tone a mixture of admiration and curiosity. "Most species require years of study to comprehend even the basics of our systems." Ethan shrugged, focusing on a particularly tricky energy conduit. "I've always had a knack for machines. It's like they speak to me, in a way. Your ship, as advanced as it is, still follows certain universal principles." As the hours ticked by, Ethan's world narrowed to the task at hand. He lost track of time, immersed in the intricate dance of energy and matter that powered the alien vessel. The alien women watched in fascination as he navigated their technology with growing confidence, making adjustments and repairs that even they hadn't considered. Finally, after what seemed like an eternity, the crystal matrix pulsed with a steady, harmonious glow. The erratic energy patterns had been tamed, flowing in perfect synchronization. "I think that does it," Ethan announced, stepping back to admire his handiwork. "Try initializing the navigation systems now." Lyra approached the main control panel, her fingers dancing over the holographic interface. The ship hummed to life, systems coming online with a symphony of soft chimes and pulsing lights. "Navigation is online," Karina confirmed, her voice filled with excitement. "All systems are functioning at optimal levels." "Ethan, you've done it." A wave of relief washed over Ethan, followed quickly by a surge of pride. He had faced the challenge of alien technology and emerged victorious. But more than that, he had potentially saved countless lives by enabling these peacekeepers to continue their mission. "I'm glad I could help," Ethan said, suddenly feeling the weight of exhaustion. "Your ship is truly remarkable. I've never seen anything like it." Lyra turned to him, her eyes shimmering with an emotion Ethan couldn't quite place. "You have done more than simply repair our vessel, Ethan Kruz. You have shown an affinity for our technology that is unprecedented for your species." There was a moment of silent communication between the three alien women, a look passing between them that spoke volumes. Finally, Lyra spoke again, her voice carrying a note of solemnity. We would like to offer you something in return for your assistance. A gift, if you will accept it. Ethan blinked, caught off guard by the offer. That's not necessary. I was happy to help. This is more than mere compensation, Villa interjected, her tone earnest. What we offer is an opportunity, a chance to expand your understanding of the universe and your place within it. Curiosity piqued, Ethan found himself nodding. What kind of opportunity? Lyra gestured towards a panel on the wall, which slid open to reveal a small chamber. Inside, 3 glowing orbs floated in midair, one a deep, pulsing red, another a serene blue, and the third a vibrant green. These are cosmic catalysts, Lyra explained. Each contains the distilled essence of a fundamental cosmic force. They have the power to awaken latent abilities within compatible species. Ethan's eyes widened as he stared at the glowing orbs. And you're offering this to me. Why? Your natural affinity for technology, combined with your willingness to aid us, marks you as someone of great potential, Karina said. We believe you could use this gift to benefit not just your world, but many others. Lyra nodded in agreement. The choice is yours, Ethan Cruz. Each orb offers a different path, a different set of abilities. The red orb enhances physical attributes, strength, speed, endurance. The blue orb expands mental capabilities, enhanced cognition, telepathy, psychokinesis. The green orb attunes one to the fundamental forces of the universe, gravity, electromagnetism, the strong and weak nuclear forces. Ethan's mind reeled at the possibilities. It was like something out of the science fiction stories he had read as a child. The chance to gain superhuman abilities, to transcend the limitations of his humanity. But with such power would come great responsibility. This is a lot to take in, Ethan said, his voice barely above a whisper. What would happen if I accepted one of these gifts? Your physiology would be altered on a fundamental level, Vila explained. The process is not without risk, but if successful, you would gain abilities beyond your current comprehension. It would also forge a connection between you and the cosmic forces, potentially opening doors to knowledge and experiences few humans have ever known. Ethan's gaze moved from one orb to another, each one calling to him in its own way. The red orb promised physical prowess beyond his wildest dreams. The blue orb offered mental abilities that could revolutionize his understanding of the universe. And the green orb spoke to his innate connection with technology, promising to deepen that bond in ways he could scarcely imagine. As he stood there on the precipice of a life-changing decision, Ethan felt a mix of exhilaration and trepidation. Whatever choice he made would set him on a path from which there was no turning back. The comfortable life he had known in New Hope seemed a distant memory now, replaced by the promise of cosmic adventure and untold discoveries. Take your time, Lyra said gently, sensing his inner turmoil. This is not a decision to be made lightly. Know that whichever path you choose, it will lead you to a greater understanding of the universe and your role within it. Ethan nodded, his eyes still fixed on the glowing orbs. As he contemplated his choice, he couldn't help but feel that this was more than just a reward for helping the alien women. It was an invitation, a call to adventure that resonated deep within his soul. With a deep breath, Ethan steeled himself for the decision that would change his life forever. The universe, in all its vast and mysterious glory, awaited, a gift beyond comprehension. Ethan's hand hovered over the 3 glowing orbs, each pulsing with potential. The red orb promised physical prowess, the blue offered mental expansion, and the green called to him on a level he couldn't quite explain. It resonated with his innate connection to technology, whispering of secrets hidden in the very fabric of the universe. I choose the green orb, Ethan said, his voice steady despite the nervous energy coursing through him. Lyra nodded, a hint of approval in her luminous eyes. A choice well suited to your talents, Ethan Cruz. Are you prepared for what comes next? Ethan took a deep breath, squaring his shoulders. As ready as I'll ever be. With a graceful motion, Lyra plucked the green orb from its suspension field and held it out to Ethan. As his fingers closed around the sphere, he felt a jolt of energy race up his arm. The orb began to pulse more rapidly, its glow intensifying until it was almost painfully bright. "Embrace the gift," Lyra instructed, her voice seeming to come from far away. "Let it become a part of you." Ethan closed his eyes, focusing on the warm energy emanating from the orb. He felt it seep into his skin, coursing through his veins like liquid fire. His body tingled, every nerve ending alive with sensation. In his mind's eye, he saw patterns of energy, intricate, beautiful, and endlessly complex. The world around him faded away, replaced by a cosmic tapestry of forces and fields. He saw the delicate interplay of gravity and electromagnetism, the dance of subatomic particles, the ebb and flow of cosmic radiation. It was overwhelming, terrifying, and utterly magnificent. Then, just as suddenly as it had begun, the sensation faded. Ethan opened his eyes, blinking in the now dim light of the ship's interior. The green orb had disappeared, its energy fully absorbed into his being. "How do you feel?" Vela asked, concern evident in her voice. Ethan flexed his fingers, marveling at the tingling sensation that lingered in his extremities. "Different," he murmured. Like I can see the world in a whole new way." As if to punctuate his words, the ship's systems suddenly came into sharp focus. Ethan could perceive the flow of energy through its circuits, the complex interplay of fields that kept it aloft. More than that, he felt a connection to these systems, as if they were extensions of his own body. "Incredible," he breathed, reaching out to touch a nearby console. As his fingers made contact, holographic displays sprang to life, responding to his thoughts as much as his physical touch. Lyra watched him with keen interest. "The cosmic catalyst has awakened your latent abilities, Ethan. You now possess an unprecedented connection to the fundamental forces of the universe. With time and practice, you will learn to manipulate these forces in ways that may seem like magic to the uninitiated." Ethan nodded, his mind racing with possibilities. He could feel the potential humming beneath his skin, waiting to be unleashed. But with this newfound power came questions and responsibilities. "What happens now?" he asked, turning to face the alien women. "Where do I go from here?" Karina stepped forward, her expression somber. "The gift we have given you is both a blessing and a burden, Ethan Kruz. With it comes a duty to use your abilities wisely, for the benefit of all sentient beings. We would offer you a place among us," Lyra added, "to join our mission as a peacekeeper, using your unique talents to help maintain balance in the galaxy." The offer was tempting. The thought of exploring the cosmos, of using his newfound abilities to make a difference on a galactic scale, was exhilarating. But Ethan couldn't help but think of New Hope, of the people who relied on him. "What about my home?" he asked. "The colonists here depend on me." Vela's expression softened. "Your loyalty to your people is admirable, Ethan. But consider this. With your new abilities, you could do so much more than simply repair machines. You could help advance your entire colony's technology, perhaps even aid in terraforming efforts to make New Hope more habitable." Ethan considered this, his mind racing with possibilities. With his enhanced understanding of fundamental forces, he could revolutionize the colony's infrastructure, improve their terraforming equipment, maybe even develop new technologies to make life easier for everyone. "You're right," he said finally. "I can do more now. But I'm not sure I'm ready to leave everything behind just yet. Is there a way I can help both New Hope and join your peacekeeping efforts?" Lyra exchanged glances with her companions before nodding. "We understand your desire to aid your people, Ethan. Perhaps we can come to an arrangement. You could serve as a liaison between your colony and our organization, dividing your time between local improvements and galactic peacekeeping missions." The idea resonated with Ethan. It would allow him to use his new abilities to their fullest potential while still maintaining his connection to home. "That sounds perfect," he agreed, a smile spreading across his face. "Then it is settled," Lyra said, her tone formal but warm. "Ethan Cruz, we welcome you as an honorary member of the Cosmic Peacekeepers. We will provide you with the means to contact us when you are ready for your first off-world mission." As if on cue, a small device materialized in Lyra's hand. It was a sleek, silvery object about the size of a coin. "This quantum communicator will allow you to reach us across vast distances," she explained, handing it to Ethan. "Simply focus your thoughts on it when you wish to make contact." Ethan accepted the device, marveling at how it seemed to hum in harmony with his newfound energy sensitivity. "Thank you," he said, his voice thick with emotion. "For everything." "No, Ethan Cruz," Karina replied, her eyes shimmering. "It is we who should thank you. Your actions today have not only saved our mission, but have also opened new possibilities for cooperation between our peoples." As the alien women prepared to depart, Ethan felt a mix of excitement and trepidation. His life had changed irrevocably in the span of a few hours, and he knew the real challenges were yet to come. "Remember, Ethan," Lyra said as they stood at the entrance to their ship, "your gift is a tool, but it is your heart and mind that will determine how you use it. Trust in yourself and in the cosmic balance you now serve." With final farewells exchanged, the alien women boarded their vessel. Ethan watched in awe as the ship rose silently into the air, its hull shimmering with energy fields he could now perceive. In a flash of light, it was gone, leaving him alone under the starry sky. As Ethan turned back towards his workshop, he felt the weight of his new responsibilities settling on his shoulders. But along with it came a sense of purpose and excitement. He had been given a gift beyond comprehension, and he was determined to use it wisely. The first rays of dawn were breaking over the horizon as Ethan reached his workshop. He paused at the entrance, looking at the familiar tools and machines with new eyes. With a smile, he stepped inside, ready to begin this new chapter of his life. Little did he know that his journey was just beginning, and that the universe had many more surprises in store for the human mechanic who had become something more. Challenges of a new reality. The weeks following Ethan's transformation were a whirlwind of discovery and adaptation. Each day brought new revelations about the extent of his abilities, and with them, new challenges to overcome. At first, Ethan focused on using his newfound powers to benefit New Hope. He set to work upgrading the colony's aging infrastructure, his enhanced understanding of fundamental forces, allowing him to make improvements that would have been impossible before. Solar panels became exponentially more efficient under his touch. Water purification systems were optimized to levels that rivaled the most advanced colonies, and the terraforming equipment began to work at unprecedented speeds. The colonists watched in awe as their home was transformed. Crops grew more abundantly, the air became cleaner, and long-standing technical issues were resolved with ease. Whispers spread about Ethan's sudden leap in capabilities, but he remained tight-lipped about the true source of his new skills. One afternoon, as Ethan was fine-tuning an atmospheric regulator, his old friend and the colony's lead scientist, Dr. Samantha Chen, approached him. "Ethan," she called, her voice a mixture of admiration and concern, "we need to talk." Ethan looked up from his work, noting the serious expression on Samantha's face. "What's on your mind, Stam?" She gestured at the regulator. "This. All of this. The advancements you've made in the past few weeks, they're beyond anything we've seen before. It's not just your technical skills. It's like you understand the fundamental laws of physics on a level that shouldn't be possible." Ethan sighed, setting down his tools. He had known this conversation was coming, but he had hoped to avoid it for a little longer. "Sam, Don't try to brush this off," she interrupted. "I've known you for years, Ethan. You've always been brilliant with machines, but this is something else entirely. What happened to you?" For a moment, Ethan considered deflecting, but the earnest concern in Samantha's eyes made him reconsider. If there was anyone in the colony he could trust with the truth, it was her. "You might want to sit down for this," he said, gesturing to a nearby bench. As Samantha took a seat, Ethan began to recount the events of that fateful night. The arrival of the alien ship, the repairs he had made, and the gift he had been given. Samantha listened in stunned silence, her eyes widening as Ethan demonstrated some of his new abilities, manipulating the electromagnetic fields around them to create a small light show. "This is incredible," she breathed when he had finished. "Ethan, do you realize what this means? The scientific implications alone are staggering. We need to study this to understand." "No," Ethan cut her off firmly. "Sam, I'm trusting you with this secret because you're my friend. But this isn't something to be studied or experimented on. It's a responsibility, a duty to use these abilities for the greater good." Samantha frowned, clearly conflicted. "But think of what we could learn, how it could advance our understanding of the universe. And think of what could happen if this knowledge fell into the wrong hands." Ethan countered. "I'm not saying we can't explore the possibilities, but it needs to be done carefully, ethically." Their discussion was interrupted by a sudden tremor that shook the ground beneath their feet. Alarms began to blare across the colony, and Ethan's enhanced senses picked up a surge of seismic activity. "What's happening?" Samantha asked, steadying herself against the bench. Ethan closed his eyes, reaching out with his newfound perception. He could feel the shifting of tectonic plates deep beneath the surface, the buildup of pressure that threatened to tear the colony apart. "Earthquake," he said grimly. "The big one. The terraforming must have destabilized a fault line we didn't know about." Without hesitation, Ethan sprinted towards the colony's central plaza, Samantha close on his heels. Colonists were pouring out of buildings, panic evident on their faces as the tremors intensified. Ethan knew he had to act fast. Reaching deep within himself, he tapped into the power granted by the cosmic catalyst. He could sense the gravitational forces at play, the complex interplay of mass and energy that was causing the earthquake. With a deep breath, Ethan extended his hands, focusing his will on the seismic waves rippling through the planet's crust. He began to manipulate the forces, attempting to disperse the energy harmlessly over a wider area. The strain was immense. Sweat beaded on Ethan's forehead as he grappled with forces far greater than anything he had attempted to control before. The ground continued to shake, buildings groaned under the stress, and for a terrifying moment, Ethan feared he might not be strong enough. But then, slowly, the tremors began to subside. The violent shaking gave way to a gentle rumble, and finally, stillness. Ethan collapsed to his knees, exhausted but triumphant. As the dust settled, the colonists emerged from their shelters, looking around in confused relief. Samantha knelt beside Ethan, her eyes wide with awe and concern. Did you just stop an earthquake?" she whispered. Ethan nodded weakly. "I think so. But it's not over. The fault line is still unstable. We need to reinforce it, or this will happen again." Over the next few days, Ethan worked tirelessly to stabilize the planet's crust. Using his abilities, he manipulated the underlying rock structures, reinforcing weak points and dispersing built-up tectonic stress. It was grueling work, pushing the limits of his newfound powers, but gradually, the threat of further earthquakes diminished. As word spread of Ethan's role in averting disaster, the attitude of the colonists towards him began to shift. Some looked at him with awe and gratitude, while others eyed him with suspicion and fear. The easy camaraderie he had once shared with his neighbors was strained by the knowledge that he was now something more than human. One evening, as Ethan sat alone on the roof of his workshop, gazing up at the stars, he felt the quantum communicator given to him by Lyra pulse gently against his skin. It was time for his first off-world mission with the cosmic peacekeepers. As he prepared to leave, Ethan realized that his greatest challenge lay not in mastering his new abilities, but in finding a balance between his duty to the galaxy and his connection to his home. The path ahead was uncertain, filled with both promise and peril. But as he looked out over the colony he had saved, Ethan knew that he was ready to face whatever the universe had in store. He had been given a gift beyond comprehension, and he was determined to use it to make a difference, not just for New Hope, but for all those who needed help across the vast expanse of space. With a deep breath, Ethan activated the quantum communicator, ready to embark on the next phase of his journey into a new reality. The journey beyond. As the quantum communicator hummed to life, Ethan felt a surge of anticipation mixed with nervousness. A holographic image of Lyra materialized before him, her ethereal features glowing softly in the twilight. Ethan Cruz, she greeted, her melodic voice tinged with urgency. "We have need of your unique abilities. Are you prepared for your first mission?" Ethan nodded, his resolve firm. "I'm ready. What's the situation?" Lyra's image flickered as she explained. "A spatial anomaly has formed in the Cygnus sector, threatening several inhabited worlds. Your understanding of fundamental forces could be crucial in containing and neutralizing this threat." Within moments, a sleek ship descended from the sky, smaller than the one he had repaired, but no less impressive. As Ethan boarded, he cast one last glance at New Hope, the colony he had called home for so long. Samantha stood at the edge of the landing pad, worry and pride warring on her face. "I'll be back," Ethan promised, though he wasn't entirely sure how true that statement was. The journey to the Cygnus sector was a blur of faster-than-light travel and hurried briefings. Ethan marveled at the technology surrounding him, his enhanced perception allowing him to understand the intricate workings of the ship in ways he never could have before. As they approached their destination, Ethan got his first glimpse of the spatial anomaly. It was a swirling vortex of energy, distorting the very fabric of space-time around it. Entire planets were being pulled toward its maw, their orbits destabilized by its immense gravitational pull. "By the cosmos," Ethan breathed, the scale of the threat dawning on him. Lyra's voice came over the ship's communication system. "Your task, Ethan, is to work with our team to stabilize the anomaly long enough for us to seal it. Can you sense the forces at play?" Closing his eyes, Ethan reached out with his newfound abilities. He could feel the push and pull of gravity, the warping of space-time, the surge of electromagnetic energies. It was like nothing he had ever experienced. Beautiful, terrifying, and overwhelmingly powerful. "I can sense it," he confirmed, his voice tight with concentration. "But controlling it, that's another matter entirely. Have faith in your abilities," Lyra encouraged. "Remember your training. You are no longer just a mechanic. You are a cosmic force in your own right." As the ship moved into position, Ethan prepared himself for the challenge ahead. He worked in concert with the alien peacekeepers, using his unique connection to the fundamental forces to counteract the anomaly's pull. It was grueling work. Sweat beaded on Ethan's brow as he manipulated gravitational fields, redirected energy flows, and reinforced the weakening barriers of space-time. Every time they seemed to make progress, the anomaly would surge, threatening to undo their efforts. Hours passed in a haze of intense concentration and mounting exhaustion. Ethan's muscles ached, his mind reeled from the strain of grappling with cosmic forces. But slowly, incrementally, they began to gain ground. "It's working." Karina's excited voice cut through Ethan's focus. "The anomaly is stabilizing. Prepare for the final sealing procedure." With a monumental effort, Ethan poured every ounce of his power into containing the anomaly. He felt as if he were holding back an ocean with his bare hands, the pressure threatening to overwhelm him at any moment. Then, in a blinding flash of light and a thunderous boom that seemed to shake the very stars, the anomaly collapsed in on itself and vanished. The sudden absence of its pull sent shockwaves rippling through space, rocking their ship violently. As the dust settled and the all-clear was given, Ethan slumped in his seat, utterly drained but filled with a sense of accomplishment unlike anything he had ever known. He had faced a threat to entire worlds and emerged victorious. In the days that followed, as they helped the affected planets recover and restore their proper orbits, Ethan reflected on how far he had come. He was no longer just Ethan Cruz, the mechanic from New Hope. He was a cosmic peacekeeper, a guardian of the fundamental forces that shaped the universe. Yet, as he worked alongside beings from across the galaxy, each with their own unique abilities and perspectives, Ethan realized that his humanity, his connection to New Hope, his understanding of the struggles of ordinary people, was perhaps his greatest strength. As their mission in the Cygnus sector came to a close, Lyra approached Ethan with a new proposal. "You have proven yourself a valuable ally, Ethan Cruz. We would be honored if you would consider a more permanent position among the cosmic peacekeepers." Ethan considered the offer carefully. The adventures he had experienced, the wonders he had seen, called to the part of him that had always dreamed of exploring the cosmos. But he also felt the pull of New Hope, of the people who depended on him. "I'm honored by the offer," Ethan replied after a moment. "And I want to continue working with you, to help where I'm needed most. But New Hope is still my home. I can't abandon it entirely." Lyra nodded, understanding in her luminous eyes. "Perhaps a compromise, then. You could serve as our liaison to your sector of space, dividing your time between cosmic peacekeeping and aiding your home colony. Your unique perspective as both a human and a wielder of cosmic forces could prove invaluable in bridging the gap between worlds." The idea resonated with Ethan. It would allow him to continue his journey of discovery across the stars while still maintaining his connections to home. "That sounds perfect," he agreed with a smile. As they prepared to return to New Hope, Ethan gazed out at the star-strewn expanse of space. He thought about the path that had led him here, from a simple mechanic to a cosmic peacekeeper, and the infinite possibilities that lay ahead. The universe was vast, filled with wonders and dangers beyond imagination. But Ethan Cruz was no longer afraid of the unknown. With his newfound abilities, his human ingenuity, and the support of allies both at home and among the stars, he was ready to face whatever challenges awaited. As New Hope came into view, a small blue-green jewel against the backdrop of space, Ethan felt a sense of coming full circle. He had left as a man in search of his place in the universe, and was returning as something more: a bridge between worlds, a protector of cosmic balance, and above all, a believer in the limitless potential of humanity. The journey beyond had only just begun, and Ethan Cruz was ready to embrace every moment of it.